Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, or should I say, good morning, feeders of Masbate DepEd province. Feeders because we are all the school-based feeding program coordinators. I am Cheryl Dimple de la Vigne, your host for today, and I welcome you all to our virtual orientation on SBFP programs, evaluation, and feedback survey. I am super excited to have you all here about the amazing conversation we are gonna have today. So a special mention to our school division superintendent, Madam Lene R. Marioles, to our assistant schools division superintendent, Mr. Joel Kaolboy, and to our chief executive of CID, Miss Madam Dorothy Daniel, and to the Chief Executive of SGOD, Mr. Mark Anthony Rupa, and to the unit section heads, and all to our supervisors, and of course to the heads of elementary schools. Um, so without further ado, let's begin the program with in singing the Philippine National Anthem to be followed by a short prayer, and we will march together with our Masbate Hymn and Masbate March.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyan ka lang magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisilip, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bugaw, may nilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning, ang bituin at araw na kailan pa may di magdidiling. Lupa ng araw ng walhati pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mag-aapi, ang namatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Ama naming sumasalangit, Panginoong maylalang sa langit at lupa, aming ipinagbubunyi ang iyong kadakilaan.
Kami ay nagpapasalamat sa panibagong araw na ipinagkaloob mo sa amin. Maraming salamat sa iyong walang humpay na pagmamahal.
Ikinalulugod namin ang iyong pag-akay sa amin bilang isang bansa sa krisis na aming nararanasan.
Kami ay lumalapit sa iyong kadakilaan. Itinataas namin sa iyong pangalan ang mga namumuno sa aming kagawaran.
Pagkaloob mo sa kanila ang katatagan para sa mga desisyong nakaatang sa kanilang mga balika.
Gabayan mo ang kanilang mga hakbang sa pagsulong ng edukasyon sa bansa.
Hinihiling namin na iyong ipadama ang pagdamay, pagkalinga at proteksyon sa aming mga guro, mag-aaral at mga magulang anuman ang kanilang pinagdadaanan.
Patnubayan mo ang lahat ng mga guro sa pagpapatuloy ng kanilang paglilingkod sa bayan at bigyan ng proteksyon sa lahat ng panahon upang ang kanilang mga tungkulin ay magampanan.
At sa pagbubukas ng taong panuruan 2020 hanggang 2021, ipinagkakatiwala naming sa iyong mga kamay ang walang hanggang paggabay sa aming pagtahak tungo sa maliwanag na bukas.
Naniniwala kami na aming malalampasan ang lahat ng pagsubok sa pamamagitan ng iyong kapangyarihan. Ito ang aming samo at dalangin sa pangalan ni Jesus na iyong pinakamamahal na anak at aming tagapagligtas. Amen.
Hail, dear beloved Nicolanda, of the Virgin of Peña Francia, renowned for healing and exceeding from dawn to dusk. We're singing our praise to thee, where the flames, sparkling rivers and seas, hills and mountains breeze adore. From the shores across the seas, all nature's here to thee abound. Bicolanda, Bicolanda, our native land behold. Our light, Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, Natanduanes, Masbate, Sorsogon. Sinis o Iligan, Nagalikaw, Ligaspi, Tabaco, Sorsogon, and Masbate, abode of noble heroes, land of the free. Oh, Mount Mayon is watching over thee. Bicolanda, Bicolanda, the home of the Oragons. Here the warriors fall and flame, the truth and dignity we defend. Bicolanda, Bicolanda, the home of the Oragons. Fearless warriors fall and flame, the truth and dignity we give. The truth and dignity we give.
Changing world, they're standing tall, adept at dealing with whatever life abhors. With the skills, the wit, and wisdom all aglow, they'll find their dreams wherever they go. Guided by the Almighty, they dwell in harmony with their coastal land and all its nature's grace. Hail to every Masbate. So much fun and joy in learning, to keep them safe in every need and right protected, to nurture them and let their passions glow and burning, to light their path and lead them to a righteous life. This is the dream of the division of Masbate, a lifelong quality education for her children. The dream of the division of Masbate, a lifelong quality education for her children, hand in hand with the leaders, teachers, and
All right, let's dive in. Are you excited? So, today we will be talking about the SBFP programs and evaluations and survey feedbacks. So, before we get started, I will give you a little housekeeping rules and reminders that if you have questions to the presenters, you may type or send your questions to the chat box here. Then I will address that to the presenter after the presentation, since we will have a question and answer portion at the end of the presentation. So at this juncture, we will turn the time over to our ever supportive Mr. Mark Anthony Rupa, our Chief Executive of SGOD, for an opening remarks. Let's have a round of applause, please.
Thank you so much, Nurse Dimple, of course. My greetings to our school's division superintendent, Ma'am Nene Rosal Marioles, to our ASDSS, Sir Boy Makaraig and Sir Joel Kaolboy, to the chief of the CID, Ma'am Dorothy Daniel, to, of course, to the school health and nutrition section with our school-based feeding program coordinator, Nurse Maria Ronnie Francisco, and to the SBFA milk focal person, Nurse Jasmine R. Paite, and to all the working committee of this activity, good morning. My greetings also to our school-based feeding program implementers, to the school heads, to the nutrition coordinators, and of course to our public schools district supervisors who are watching right now. Good morning. Now, I welcome you all to this virtual orientation on the school-based feeding program evaluation and feedback survey. Now, this activity aims to present the evaluation and feedback survey questionnaire as well as to discuss and orient our district SBFP or nutrition coordinators and the school SBFE or nutrition coordinators on the methodology of the said survey and the date of its administration. Now, I know that school-based feeding program is one of the priority programs of the Department of Education. Millions of funds are downloaded in the division for the implementation of this program. So that is why it is very important for us to conduct an evaluation or a feedback survey for us to better implement the this particular program. So we have this two important programs under the SBFP, and that is the milk component of the SBFP, and the other one is the NFP, or the nutritious food products component of the school-based feeding program. So since we started the implementation of the program last year for the NFP, and this year for the school-based SBFA milk component, we are very happy to give your feedback and to tell us the kind of implementations that you have in your school. And this feedback is very important for the schools division office of Masbate province, especially to our program implementers, Nurse Ronnie and Nurse Jasmine, to um, address issues and concerns with regards to the implementation of the school-based feeding program. Now, we already received the SARO for the 2021 school-based feeding program implementation. And I hope that as last year, that we're able to reach almost 100% cash advances for the school-based feeding program. And that, of course, that is credited to the hard-working school heads, implementers of the school-based feeding program. And we are hoping that that for this year implementation, for 2021 implementation of the school-based feeding program, we're able to reach complete 100% schools na makapag-cash advance and ma-implement ng maayos yung program, as well as ma ma-liquidate, of course, yung mga cash advances natin for school-based feeding program. And of course, I'm happy to announce that for this year, in partnership with the ABS-CBN, Lingkod Kapamilya Foundation, meron tayong 3 schools that will open yung tinatawag natin na Nutripan sa eskwelahan. And I hope that yung mga schools na malapit sa Katayngan National High School, Aroroy National High School, and Dimasalang National High School will support the Nutripan sa eskwelahan, which yung mga tinapay nila, yung mga gagawin nila mga tinapay ay approved ng Nutrition Council of the Philippines. And of course, that is part, of course, of our advocacy din. Yung gulayan sa paaralan, I'm very happy that maraming schools po tayo ang really implement yung gulayan sa paaralan, which is also support to the school-based feeding program activities natin. And lastly, I would like to congratulate lahat ng nurses, lahat ng ating mga nutrition coordinators, district SBFE or nutrition coordinators, as well as school coordinators. And of course, my congratulations to our SBFE focal person, Nurse Ronnie, Nurse Jasmine, and our alternate coordinator, Nurse Rose Ann, for really exerting a big effort for the success of the SBFP 2020, and we are hoping that we will do the same for this 2021 implementation. Once again, I welcome you all to this virtual orientation and the school-based feeding program evaluation and feedback survey. Once again, good morning.
Thank you, Sir Mark Anthony. So that is the welcome address of Mr. Rupa. So congratulations to all of us. So medyo ganado tayo kasi medyo na-appreciate ni Sir yung lahat ng efforts from the last year until today. So thank you so much, Sir, and we will do our best to do it again. So welcome everyone, especially to our SPFP coordinators. So, and to give us the glimpse of inspiration, may I present to you our amazing, and when I say amazing, I really mean it, because of her inspiring wisdom and thoughts. Let's welcome Madam Nene R. Marioles. Okay, I think Madam is not yet around. So let's move on to our orientation proper with our SBFP coordinators, Nurse Ronnie and Nurse Jasmine Paite. Are you ready? So let's go on with our 2 hardworking focal persons. First, we will start with our presentation on the SBFP evaluation feedback survey. And let me give you the spotlight to Nurse Ronnie B. Francisco. For Miss Ronnie, you are all welcome to write down or type into the chat box your feedbacks and questions, because I will raise that later on the presenters after the presentation.
Good morning, everyone. My respect to our school's division superintendent, Ma'am Nene R. Merioles, our assistant schools division superintendents, Sir Fernando Simaharaig and Sir Joel Zicalboy, our SGOD chief, Sir Mark Anthony H. Rupa, our CID chief, Ma'am Maria Dorothy L. Daniel, to our SBFP milk focal person, Nurse Jasmine Paite, to our SBFP alternate focal person, Nurse Rose Andy Lontok, our SBFP technical working group, also the school health nutrition section personnel, to all PSDSS, to all school heads, district SBFP coordinators, district property custodians, and school SBFP coordinators. Good morning. Welcome to the virtual orientation on the school-based feeding program, evaluation, and feedback survey. Okay, so the contents of today's event. First is the rationale, the objectives, the methodology, and the presentation of survey questionnaires, and then the wrap up. Now, the rationale. So let's go back to the start of this feeding program. No? Ano ba yung school-based feeding program natin? This is a project of the Department of Education through the Bureau of Learner Support Services, School Health Division, that aims to address hunger and undernutrition among public school children. So what are the objectives of the SBFP? Kanina po na-mention na partly by Sir Mark, yung mga objectives ng SBFP. First is to encourage the learners to enroll, enhance and improve their health and nutrition values, improve the nutritional status of the beneficiaries, provide nourishment to their growth and development. So this is under the DepEd Order 23 series of 2020. So the title of this DepEd Order is the Operational Guidelines on the Implementation of the School-Based Feeding Program for school year 2020-2021, and this was issued last September 7, 2020. So kung ating natatandaan, nagkaroon po tayo ng pandemya, kaya nag-release po ng order na to. So the purpose of this DepEd order is that they're going to release the guidelines in consideration of the changes brought about by the pandemic. The implementation of the SBFP is modified and adapted to the new normal, putting utmost importance to the welfare, safety, and health of the learners and personnel involved, while also ensuring the attainment of the program objectives. So, sino ba yung mga target beneficiaries natin? So, kung nung una, nung wala pang pandemya, ito yung mga target beneficiaries natin. No? So, it was changed from the wasted and severely wasted K-6 learners to all kindergarten learners and grade 1 to grade 6 learners who were wasted and severely wasted based on the school year 2019-2020 SBFP report, except those who have moved to grade 7. So, maraming nagtatanong kung magkakaroon ba ng nutritional assessment. So, ang nutritional assessment po natin was suspended. So wala pong height and weight taking na ginawa sa mga estudyante natin. So the mode of delivery was changed from school-based administration of the actual feeding to delivery to households. No? So yung NFP natin, yung milk natin, ay dinideliver mismo sa mga households natin or kinukuha sa school. Number of milk feeding days, no? It was adjusted based on the remaining number of school days. Ordinarily, a feeding period of 120 days is ideal to achieve a significant impact on the nutritional status of children. So, FY 2019 funds from 30 days to 20 days, no? And then the FY 2020 funds is from 60 days to 50 days. So sa atin, we have 60 feeding days po sa 2020 funds. So who are the primary or the beneficiaries of the SBFP? We have the primary beneficiaries and we have the secondary beneficiaries. Ano po, in case of excess funds or the stunted learners identified, no? So the primary beneficiaries are the following: all incoming kindergarten learners and severely wasted grade 1 to grade 6 learners based on the school year 2019-2020 SBFP report, except those who have moved to grade 7. And then in case po of excess funds, no, discounted learners identified na din natin as secondary beneficiaries. So we have discounted learners, we have the pupils at risk of dropping out or the PARDOS, the indigenous people, learners, and then the indigents. So, sa masustansyang pagkain para sa batang Pilipino, Republic Act Number 11-037, the law institutionalized a national feeding program for undernourished daycare, kindergarten, and elementary learners and provided for the inclusion of fresh milk or fresh milk-based products in the SBFP as an additional component to hot meal. So kung before wala po tayo ng ng milk feeding, so in-include na po siya dito sa Republic Act Number 11-037. So this was signed by President Rodrigo Duterte on June 20, 2018. So the DepEd's Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan, or the BELCP, the COVID-19 pandemic brought a global health crisis, no? Adjusted the SBFP implementation method to adapt under this current situation. So, nagkaroon po tayo ng pandemya, kaya nagkaroon po ng in-adjust po kung paano natin ibibigay yung mga feeding natin sa mga bata, no? So this plan is aligned with the policies and operating guidelines established in the DepEd Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan implemented in school year 2020-2021. No? So ngayong school year 2020-2021 lang po ito in-implement. So in accordance with the BELCP, the SBFP implementation strategy for school year 2020-2021 was modified considering the conditions brought about by the COVID-19. So food items served in previous years was changed from hot meals to nutritious food products. So kung atin pong natatandaan, ng mga previous years po ay hot meals po yung siniserve natin sa ating mga learners, sa ating mga beneficiaries. But because of this pandemic, alam po natin na nagkaroon po tayo ng problema kung paano po makakarating sa mga bata yung mga hot meals natin. So yung ginawa po ng ating pamunuan ay binago po ito. Yung binigay po natin ay nutritious food products. So we have the hot meals and then the nutritious food products and kasabay na po dyan yung fresh milk natin. But in our case po, yung fresh milk po natin ay hindi po fresh milk yung naharating po sa ating mga learners kasi po hindi po siya pwede considering po our place po yung geographical location ng mga schools natin. Panis na pong darating yung mga fresh milk natin sa ating mga learners, so magiging problema po natin. So ang ginawa po natin, yung inalaw po tayong magbigay ng commercial milk, no? So yung nare-receive po ng ating mga learners, as of now, ongoing po ang ating milk feeding po, kaka-start pa lang po ng milk feeding natin. Yung ibang schools, yung ibang place po ay still kaka-receive pa lang po nila ng mga milk products natin. Sa nutritious food products, we have the enhanced Nutribun, fruits or fruit products, the root crops, and Nutripacks. Itong Nutripacks, wala pa tayong available nito. What we have is yung binibigay natin sa mga schools natin, yung mga enriched breads po natin, and the fruits or fruit products. So, we have the SBFP evaluation feedback survey. So, bakit kailangan po natin to? So, ano po ang objective at gagawin natin ito sa schools natin? So, the SBFP evaluation and feedback survey or the EFS obtain the parents' guardians' perception on the effects of nutritious food products and fresh, sterilized, or in our case, commercial milk to the SBFP beneficiaries. So this is one of the objectives of this EFS. No? So another objective is to gather the parents' guardian satisfaction and acceptance of the program. So, malalaman natin kung satisfied ba yung mga parents natin, kung accepted ba nila ang ganitong mode of delivery or mode of implementation ng ating SBFP. Another objective is to gather the school feeding coordinator's feedback on the management and implementation of the program. Kasi kung meron din pong feedback yung mga parents natin, sigurado meron ding mga feedback yung mga feeding coordinators natin, no? So, with regards to the management and implementation of the program, so malalaman natin dito kung ano ba yung masasabi nila tungkol sa modified na implementation po natin ng paggamit natin ng nutritious food products, no? And the implementation of the milk feeding program. Another objective is to identify the issues and concerns that may be associated with the implementation of the program. So, ano ba yung mga issues and concerns natin, no? Alam ko, madami tayong mga na-encounter ng mga situations while implementing this program. And then, we have to identify the areas for improvement and recommend action plans, no? So, kung ano yung mga naging problema natin, malalaman natin, with regards to this EFS, syempre malalaman namin kung ano yung mga naging problema ninyo, ano yung mga issues and concerns, and makakatulong ito para mas lalong gumanda yung implementation natin, mas lalong mas mapabuti natin yung implementation natin para mas masiyahan naman yung mga parents at mga beneficiaries natin ng school-based feeding program. The methodology of this evaluation feedback survey, the SBFP evaluation and feedback survey will be conducted online using Google Forms. So, online po ito. Hindi po kami magbibigay ng forms para um, pasagutan dun sa mga parents natin at sa mga coordinators natin. But you can access the EFS through online using Google Forms. For the administration and proper coordination of this survey, a signed memorandum was sent to all regional directors. So ito yung memorandum na regional directors. This was conduct of the evaluation and feedback online survey on the school-based feeding program dated last April 13, 2021. No? So, ito na yung mga na-mention ko kanina na mga objectives kung bakit ito kailangan natin i-implement. The EFS methodology. Magkakaroon po tayo ng 2 sets of questionnaires. No, there will be 2 sets of questionnaires na i-utilize natin. We will be utilizing 2 sets of questionnaires in conducting the survey. The EFS questionnaire number 1 for parents or guardians, no? And then the EFS questionnaire number 2 for the SBFP feeding coordinator. The Schools Division Office School-Based Feeding Program focal person will choose the participating schools to answer EFS, no? The questionnaire number 1 and EFS questionnaire number 2. The participants of this survey must cover at least 25% of the SBFP recipient schools in every schools division offices. So, sa atin, kailangan natin ng 25% of the SBFP recipient schools na mag-participate for this survey. The participating school shall constitute of 50% highly urbanized areas and 50% rural areas that have internet connectivity. So yung may mga internet connectivity, kailangan po kasi we will access this form online. The survey shall be open for administration on May 17 until June 4, 2021. So the EFS questionnaire number 1 for parents and guardians will be conducted online using Google Forms through this link na pinakita po namin sa screen. And then at least 5 to 10% of parents of the SBFP beneficiaries from kinder to grade 6 shall answer the online survey form. So, kinumpute na namin to para magkakaroon yata ng 7 respondents in every school. Ano po? So, the SBO focal person shall send the link to the school feeding coordinators who shall in turn send the link to class advisors who is responsible in sharing the link to selected parents and guardians. No? So, para po sa mga school SBFP coordinators, magsisend po kami ng link sa inyo, tapos yung link na ipapadala namin sa inyo ay isisend nyo or ipapadala din ninyo sa mga class advisors, no? Kasi sila yung mas nakakakilala kung sino yung magiging respondent, no? The link will be sent via email or Facebook Messenger group chat, no? So So marami namang may mga messenger group chat naman tayo or dito mismo sa Facebook, i-send po namin yung link sa inyo. The SBFP EFS questionnaire number 2 will be conducted online using Google Forms through this link, no? So meron din tayong link para sa mga SBFP school feeding coordinators, no? Ito yung nakikita natin sa screen po natin. The school feeding coordinators of the selected schools shall answer this survey. Okay. So ito yung natin, parang ito yung schedule natin for the SBFP evaluation and feedback survey. So kung makikita po natin, color-coded po ito, tapos meron po siya ng mga corresponding dates po yung mga bawat color at kung sino yung responsible na gumawa ng survey. Okay? So, last March po ito nag-start, March 19 to 26 and 29 to 31. Yung mga BLSSS HD personnel po natin, sila po yung nag-prepare, the preparation of documents for SBFP EFS. And then the SBFP team and regional focal persons, they validated the survey questionnaire. The SDO focal persons from April 1 to 8, 12 to 26, 19 to 23, and 26 to 30. Sila po itong, sa atin po ito, sa SDO focal persons, school heads, school feeding coordinator. Ano po? Nakita po natin dito yung selection of school participants by SDOs, conduct of virtual orientation. So, the orientation proper will start on May 17 to June 4, no? So, makikita po natin yung schedule natin from this date, no, na from May 17 to June 4, yan po yung gathering of data po natin. So, mas maganda po kung masubmit ninyo earlier po. Hindi na po tayo aabot ng June 4. Kasi, kailangan din namin makita kung talagang kompleto, kung naka 25% na po kami. So, ito po yung mga ginagawa po natin. Preparation of documents for SBFP EFS, validation of survey questionnaire, finalization of the survey questionnaire, drafting of memorandum regarding the information and administration of the EFS, conduct of virtual orientation. Ito yung ginawa na sa amin ng regional office last May 3. Selection of school participants by SDOs, no? Sa amin na to ng mga SDO focal persons. And then conduct of preparatory activities for the administration of the EFS by the schools, no? And the administration of the actual survey. Ang mag-administer ng actual survey ay ang school feeding coordinators, no? Gagawin nila sa mga parents and guardians na ito. Okay, so the collection of data gathered, balik na naman po yan sa SBFP team ng School Health Division. And then the data analysis and presentation sa BLSS, SHD. So doon na din po namin kukunin yung result ng survey para malaman namin kung meron po ba kami ng mga gagawing mga steps para mas mapaganda yung services sa inyo. Okay, so ito yung yung Next is the presentation of the survey questionnaires na. Ito na naman yata yung last na ano po na topic sa inyo. Ang nag-throwback lang ako kung ano yung mga nangyari before. Nurse, so allow mo na lang po na magpasalamat sa inyo sa ginawa ninyong effort po sa pag-implement ng school-based feeding program natin. Alam ko po during this pandemic po talagang mahirap po mag-implement. Pero po, nakita po namin kung gaano kayo ka-dedicated, kung paano ninyong ginawa ang pag-implement ng SBFP program, ng SBFP natin para makarating po yung mga nutritious food products natin sa yung milk natin sa ating learners. At lubos po kaming nagpapasalamat sa inyo dahil po nakita po namin kung gaano kahirap ang implementation pero ginawa pa rin po ninyo at talaga pong nasabi ko nga po sa sarili ko, kayo po talaga yung mga heroes ng SBFP, mga school feeding coordinators. Kasi hindi po magiging successful po ang implementation ng SBFP kung hindi po kayo nag-implement ng SBFP sa ating learners. Nagpapasalamat kami sa mga PSBSS, sa mga school heads na talagang tumulong din for the implementation of this program. And sa mga nurses na din, mga kasama namin, thank you very much po. And I hope po na talagang magawa po natin ang evaluation po na ito, yung EFS natin, magawa po natin at ma-implement po natin. Meron na po kami ang magdi-discuss po kung paano po siya in detail po na magdi-discuss ng pagsagot ng forms. Si Nurse Jasna po ang magdi-discuss po sa inyo. Thank you very much and good morning.
That was a clear explanation from our SBFP
Person. Thank you so much, Nurse Ronnie. So, again, if you still have unclarifications, you can actually write your questions and feedbacks on our chat box, and we will return to you later. So now, we have the new stream of feeding, that is the first time in DepEd, to incorporate milk as one of the program of our department to help ease malnourished children from the schoolers. So let's hear a clearer view from Nurse Jasmine Paite about milk feeding program and feedbacks.
Good morning to all the district SBFP coordinators and school SBFP coordinators. Today I'm going to present to you the survey questionnaires. These survey questionnaires must have at least two sets of survey questionnaires. One is intended for the parents and the other one is for the school feeding coordinators. So this SBFP evaluation and feedback survey, questionnaire number 1 will be conducted online using the Google Form through this link. And before that, kanina na-mention ni Nurse Ronnie that out of 5 to 10% of parents of our total beneficiaries that must cover the survey, we must have at least 7 parents or guardian per school of the SBS beneficiaries from kinder to grade 6 that shall answer the survey form. So, there will be 11 questions na sasagutin ng ating mga parents and 11 questions din para sa ating mga SBFP coordinators. Hindi ito. Hindi siya. Dahil hindi. This survey is organized by the Department of Education, Bureau of Learner Support Services, the School Health Division, and this survey aims to gather feedback from the parents or guardian on the effects to the beneficiaries of the school-based feeding program, SBFP, who received the nutritious food products or the NFP and fresh or sterilized milk. So sa una pong sasagutin ng ating parent, hiningi po yung email address. So don't worry here, kahit po walang email address, you can proceed. So this is optional po. And the next question, okay. So this survey is organized by the Department of Education, Bureau of Learner Support Services, School Health Division. This survey aims to gather feedback from the parents or guardian on the effects to the beneficiaries of the school-based feeding program who receive the NFP and fresh or sterilized milk. So sa una pong hihingiin yung email address for our parents. So don't worry po, this is optional. Kahit po walang email address na ibigay ang ating parent, we can proceed to the next question. So this is the school-based feeding program evaluation survey, school year 2020 to 2021 for parents or guardian. So letter A, we have the profiling or pagkakakilanlan. So number one question, ang sumasagot ng survey na ito ay, is it letter A, magulang or parent? Letter B, tagapag-alaga or guardian ng mag-aaral? Or how are you related to the student beneficiary? So kung kayo po ay magulang, you have to pick inside the circle. Then let's go to number 2 question. Anong baitan na ang mag-aaral? What is the grade level of the student beneficiary? For example po, kung ang inyong anak ay nasa kinder, let us click inside the box, letter A, kinder. O kung grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, or grade 6, pumili lang po kayo dyan na ititik inside the box po. Okay, let's go to number 3. Sa anong rehiyon na nakatira at nag-aaral ang beneficiaro? From what region is the beneficiary currently residing and studying? So we have to choose here the region 5. Okay, then let's go to the next question. Just click the next. Okay. Letter B, ito po yung mga katanungan patungkol sa nutritious food product at ang ating mga gatas. Number 1 question, anong pagkain ang natanggap ng mag-aaral? What food commodities did your child receive? Is it A, masustansyang pagkain NFP? Letter B, gatas or milk? Letter C, hot meals? Or letter D, parehas na masustansyang pagkain at gatas, both nutritious food products and milk. So for example, nakakuha po ang ating anak ng NFP at gatas, we have to click the letter D. Okay, number 2 question. Natanggap niyo ba ang mga ipinamahaging pagkain ng nasa wastong kondisyon at malinis? Did you receive the food commodities in good condition? Is it oo po ba or yes, hindi or no? So let us take the oo. And number 3, let's go to number 3 question. Kung ang inyong anak ay benepisyaro ng NFP, anong uri ng masustansyang pagkain ang kanyang natanggap? If your child is a recipient of NFP, what did he or she receive? So dito po, okay lang po na multiple answers. Multiple answers here are allowed. So letter A, meron po bang E, Nutriban? Letter B, enriched fortified bread. Letter C, Nutripack. Ito po yung mga banana chips, Nutrimilk, or Mongo chips. Letter D, prutas. For example, nakatanggap tayo ng apple, saging, oranges, or at iba pang mga uri ng prutas. Or letter E, root crops. For example, kamote or gabi here. Or letter F, we have the gulay. Or letter G, lahat ng nabanggit. Okay, for example, naka-receive po tayo ng enriched fortified bread. We have to take the inside the box. Okay, number 4 question. Kung ang inyong anak ay benepisyaro ng gatas, anong uri ng gatas ang kanyang natanggap? If your child is a recipient of milk, what type of milk did he or she receive? Letter A, fresh milk po ba or sterilized milk from our supplier, the MDA, or the National Dairy Authority and the Philippine Carabao Center. Or letter B, nakareceive po tayo ng commercial milk, for example, Alaska, Bear Brand, Birch Tree, or Alpine. Or letter C, wala. So for example, nakareceive po tayo ng Birch Tree, that is commercial milk, ititik po natin yung letter B. The number 5 question. Base sa inyong obserbasyon, nagustuhan ba ng inyong anak yung pinamahaging mga pagkain? As per observation, did your child like the taste of the NFP and milk that he or she received? For example, in NFP, is it yes? Okay, itik po natin yung yes. Then gatas, yes, kung nagustuhan. Okay, so let's go to number 6. Sa inyong palagay, mayaman ba sa nutrisyon ang mga ipinamahaging masustansyang pagkain? Did you think the distributed NFP and milk are nutritious? Okay. Sa NFP, yes po ba? Or sa gatas, is it masustansya? Yes. Okay, so number 7. Ano ang mga napansin ninyong naging epekto ng mga ipinamahaging pagkain sa inyong anak? What changes did you notice after your child consumed the NFP and milk? By letter A, naging masigla po ba sila? Became enthusiastic and energetic? Letter B, nadagdagan ang timbang, gained weight? Nag-improve ang pangangatawan, improved body condition for letter C? Or letter D, lumakas ang resistensya, strength, immune system? Or letter E, naging masigla sa pag-aaral, became eager in studying the module? Or letter F, walang epekto or no effect at all. So for example, let us take the letter B, nadagdagan ang timbang ng ating mga anak, nag-improve ang pangangatawan, or lumakas ang resistensya. Pwede po tayo mag-take ng multiple dito. Okay, let's go to number 8. Sumasang-ayon ba kayo na ang SBFP ay nakatulong sa kalusugan ng inyong anak? Do you agree that SBFP has helped your child become healthy? Oo or yes, hindi or no? So let us just tick inside the circle. Number 9 po. Number 9 question, nasunod ba ang IATF protocol sa pamamahagi ng pagkain? Was the IATF protocol strictly followed during the distribution of food commodities? Is it oo or yes, hindi, no, or minsan, sometimes? So kung oo po, just tick inside the circle. Number 10 question. Nanaisin niyo po bang makatanggap ang inyong anak na masustansyang pagkain at gatas mula sa DepEd? Would you still prefer your child to receive anything tayo dyan? And number 11. Do you have any comments, feedback, suggestion that may help in the improvement of the school-based feeding program? May nais ka bang sabihin, ikomento, or imungkahi na makatulong mapabuti ang school? Okay, number 11 question. Do you have any comments, feedback, suggestions that may help in the improvement of the school-based feeding program? So kung meron po tayong nais sabihin, ikomento, or imungkahi na makatulong mapabuti ang school-based feeding program natin, ilagay lang po natin ating message dito po sa box na ito. So after the 11 questions, kung nakita po natin na lahat na po nasagot natin ng mabuti ang mga katanungan, meron pa pong isang question na isang box na kailangan nating i-tick. Sa pagsagot ng survey na ito, pinapayagan mo ang Department of Education, Bureau of Learner Support Services, or the School Health Division na iproseso ang iyong impormasyon ayon sa nakasaad sa Republic Act 10173 of the Philippine Data Privacy Act of 2012 at sa mga saligang batas na nakapaloob dito. I hereby affirm my right to be informed, object to processing, access and rectify, suspend or withdraw my personal data, and be indemnified in case of damages pursuant to the provisions of the Republic Act number 10173 of the Philippines Data Privacy Act of 2012 and it is corresponding implementing rules and regulations. So, itik po natin ang box na ito, then you can submit your answers. If ever po na meron po tayong agam-agam, pwede po nating balikan ang mga katanungan na hindi po natin nasagot. So you can also go back to the question kung saan po yun na hindi po niyo po nasagot. Pero if ever na nakita niyo po na lahat naman ng tanong ay inyong nasagot, pwede na po ninyong isubmit ang survey form na ito. Next. Ito. Okay, now let's go to our survey questionnaire for school SBFP feeding coordinators. So ang reminder po namin dito, all school feeding coordinator of recipient schools school year 2020-2021 shall answer this survey form. School-based feeding program evaluation survey school year 2021 for school feeding coordinators. This survey aims to gather feedback from the SBFP coordinators who led in the distribution of nutritious food products, NFP, and fresh or sterilized milk to learners beneficiaries from kindergarten to grade 6 regarding the implementation and management of the school-based feeding program for school year 2020 to 2021. So, ang una pong hihingin sa inyo ay yung email address. So, this is required. You have to submit your email address. For example, type ko yung email address ko po. Then, click the next button. And this is letter A, the profiling or pagkakakilanlan. Okay, number 1 question. Saang rehiyon at schools division ka sa kasalukuyang nagtuturo? From what region and school division are you currently assigned? So we have to choose here the region 5. And then click the next button. So this is the school division office. We are going to choose the Masbate. And then next, ito na po yung mga katanungan patungkol sa implementasyon at pamamahala ng NFP at GATAS. Survey questions on the implementation and management of the NFP and meal. So number 1 question, anong pagkain ang inyong ipinamahagi? What food commodities did your school distribute? Letter A, masustansyang pagkain or the NFP. Letter B, gatas or milk. Or letter C, hot meals. Or letter D, parehas na masustansyang pagkain at gatas. So for example, sa letter D, ang binpick po natin. And number 2, let's go to number 2 question. Anong uri ng masustansyang pagkain ang pinamahagi ng inyong paaralan? What kind of NFP did your school distribute? Letter A, E-Nutriban. Letter B, enriched fortified bread. Letter C, Nutripack, yung banana chips, Nutrimil, or Mongo chips. Letter D, prutas. For example, yung ating apple, saging, or oranges. Letter E, root crops, yung ating mga kamote or gabi. Letter F, gulay. Or letter G, lahat na nabanggit. So dito po, okay lang po na multiple answers ang ating i-pick. So for example, natanggap natin si enriched fortified bread. We have to pick inside the box our prutas. Okay, so let's go to number 3. Meron bang central kitchen sa inyong lugar at nagamit niyo ba ito ngayon sa implementasyon ng SBFP para sa school year 2020 to 2021? Is there a central kitchen in your area and you were able to utilize it for school year 2020 to 2021 implementation? So since po na nasa pandemic po tayo, ang iba po kasing mga schools, meron po silang central kitchen. So kung letter A ang sagot natin na meron at nagamit ngayong taon, or letter B meron pero hindi nagamit ngayong taon because of pandemic and wala po tayong face-to-face, or letter C, wala. So for example, sa letter B, ang answer natin, meron pero hindi nagamit ngayong taon. Or pwede din kung walang central kitchen, letter C, wala. And number 4, Anong uri ng gatas ang ipinamahagi ng inyong paaralan? What kind of milk product did your school distribute? Is it letter A, fresh milk po ba? Or sterilized milk from our supplier, the MDA or PCC? Since nawala po naman tayong supplier. Or letter B, commercial milk. For example, kasi po tayo ng birch tree under commercial milk. Or letter C, wala. So for example, let us take letter B for commercial milk. And number 5, sa naging implementasyon ng SBFP, sino ang nanguna sa pagbili ng NFP at gatas? Who served as the procuring entity for NFP and milk? So for example, NFP, si SBO procurement po ba? Or cluster of schools procurement or school procurement? So for example, school procurement, since na school procurement naman po tayo under the NFP, and that is it SD or is difficult? Okay. Number 6.1, pagbili ng NFP procurement of NFP. Ito po ba ay mas madali, easier, mas mahirap, more difficult, or parehas lang, or the same? Dito po kasi sa parehas lang, kinukumpare po yung hot meals natin before. So parehas lang po ba ang effect sa inyo sa pagbili ng NFP? Okay, for example, sa atin po, mas madali ngayon ang NFP, you can pick inside the circle. Okay, let's go to 6.2. Sa pagbili ng gatas or procurement of milk, is it mas madali, mas mahirap, or parehas lang? So first time po natin nagkaroon ng milk sa ating division. So ano po bang nakikita natin? Ito po ay mas madali, mas mahirap, or hindi naman po natin makompare kasi wala naman po tayong milk last year. So, for example, mas madali. Okay, let's go to number 6.3. Sa pagbabalot ng nutritious food products, packaging of NFP, mas madali po ba? Mas mahirap or parehas lang? For example, mas madali. Okay. 6.4. Pagbabalot ng source of packaging of milk. Okay. So 6.5. Pakikipag-ugnayan sa mga supplier ng NFP. Coordination with the supplier of NFP. Is it madali po ba para sa inyo as SBFP feeding coordinators? Mas mahirap or parehas lang? For example, dito, mas mahirap. Okay. For 6.6, sa pakikipag-ugnayan sa mga supplier ng gatas, coordination with the supplier of milk, is it mahirap po ba? Mas madali or parehas lang? Okay, for example, mas madali. Okay, number 6.7, sa pamamahagi ng ating nutritious food products or the distribution of nutritious food products, ano po sa tingin nyo? Ito po ba ay mas madali, mas mahirap, or parehas lang? For example, pick natin po si Miss Mahirap. Okay, so let's go to 6.8. How about po sa pamamahagi ng gatas? Is it the distribution of milk? Mahirap po ba? Mas madali? Or parehas lang? Okay, for example, pick natin si Miss mas madali. Okay, let's go to number 7. Naging ligtas ba o hindi ang distribution ng NFP at gatas sa inyong nasasakupan na paaralan? Was the distribution of NFP and milk in your respective school safe or not? So, for example, in NFP, is it oo po or hindi? Okay, let's take the oo. And how about po sa ating mga gatas? Naging ligtas po ba ang distribusyon ng ating gatas? Oo or hindi? Okay, let's go to number 8. Nanaisin mo pa bang ituloy ang distribution ng NFP at gatas sa inyong paaralan? Are you still willing to continue the distribution of NFP and milk in your school? NFP, oo or hindi? For example, yes, sa gatas, mag-yes ka din. Okay, so number 9, question. Nasunod ba ang IATF protocol sa pamamahagi ng pagkain? Was the IATF protocol strictly followed during the distribution of food commodities? Letter A, oo po or yes, hindi, or no, or minsan, sometimes. Okay, for example, sometimes po ang na-pick natin. Okay. Okay, number 10 question. Sapat ba o hindi ang 2 pesos bawat bata kada araw para sa operational expenses ng SBFP? Meron po ba tayong tinatawag na 2 pesos operational expenses? Okay. Ang tinatanong po dito kung sapat ba ang ating 2 pesos bawat bata kada araw. So is the 2 pesos per child per day operational expenses enough for SBFP? Kung hindi sapat, ano ang inyong rekomendasyon na halaga para sa operational expenses? Ilagay po dito sa other ang sagot. So, kung hindi sapat, hindi, or so, pwede po tayo maglagay kung ano po ang recommended na amount sa tingin niyo po para sa ating operational expenses. So, for example, 5 pesos, ilagay po natin dun sa other, 5 pesos. Okay. So, kung hindi sapat po yung 2 pesos natin, pwede tayong mag-suggest 3 pesos, 4 pesos, or 5 pesos na sa tingin natin na yun ang sapat para sa operational expenses. Okay. So, number 11 question. Madali ba at nasa oras kayong nakapag-liquidate or hindi? Was the process of liquidation easy and on time, or was it challenging? So, letter A, oo, ito ay madali at na-liquidate sa tamang oras. Yes, it was easy and liquidated on time. Letter B, oo, ito ay madali pero nahuli ang pag-liquidate. Yes, it was easy but not liquidated on time. Letter C, hindi. Ito ay naging mahirap pero na-liquidate sa tamang oras. No, it was challenging but liquidated on time. Letter D, hindi. Ito ay naging mahirap at nahuli ang pag-liquidate. No, it was challenging and not liquidated on time. Or letter E, hindi angkop or not applicable. Okay, for example, ang ating sagot is letter A. Oo, ito ay madali at na-liquidate sa tamang oras. Okay, number 12 question. Sumasang-ayon ka ba ng SBFP ay nakatulong sa kalusugan ng inyong mga mag-aaral? Do you agree that SBFP has helped improve the health of your learners? Letter A, oo or yes, or letter B, hindi or no. For example, oo. Okay, number 13. Bilang isang SBFP feeding coordinator, nahirapan ka ba sa implementasyon ng SBFP na nagresulta sa pagdami ng inyong trabaho bilang isang guro? As an SBFP feeding coordinator, did you experience difficulty in implementing the program, which resulted to work overload? Letter A, oo or yes. B, hindi. Oo, nahihirapan pero nakayanan naman. Yes, but the work is. bearable. For example, letter C, ang ating na piling sagot. Okay, let's go to number 14. Nanaisin mo pa bang magpatuloy ang pamamahagi ng mga masustansyang pagkain at gatas mula sa DepEd? Would you still prefer to continue the distribution of NFP and milk from DepEd? Is it A, oo or yes, B, hindi or no? So, okay, let us pick the letter A for oo. And now, meron po dito isa pang katanungan. If ever po meron kayong nais na ikomento, sabihin, or imungkahi na makakatulong mapabuti ang SBFP, do you have any comments, feedback, suggestions that may help in the improvement of SBFP? Pwede po nating itype ang ating message inside the box. And before tayong mag-end, meron pa tayong box na iti-take. This is all about sa pagsagot ng survey na ito. Pinapayagan mo ang Department of Education, Bureau of Learner Support Services, School Health Division na iproseso ang inyong impormasyon ayon sa nakasaad sa Republic Act number 10173 of the Philippines, Data Privacy Act of 2012 at sa saligang batas na nakapaloob dito. I hereby affirm my right to be informed, object to processing, access and rectify, suspend or withdraw my personal data, and be indemnified in case of damages pursuant to the provision of the Republic Act number 10173 of the Philippines, Data Privacy Act of 2012, and its corresponding implementation, rules, and regulation. So dito po, ititik po natin inside the box, and you can now submit your survey questionnaires for SBFP feeding coordinators. And we would like to remind that this survey shall be open for administration from May 17 until June 4 only, 2021. And I would like to grab this opportunity using this platform for a simple reminder po to all the district SBFP coordinators na din po. So regarding po sa ating milk, and please be reminded the district property custodian to submit the inspection acceptance form, the requisition issue slip form, and list of authorized consignees, and a photocopy of delivery receipt and 3 copies po. So, pwede po ito i-submit in bunch dito po sa school health section not later than May 14, 2021. So again po, we would like to say thank you so much sa ating po mga district SBFP coordinators and school SBFP coordinators sa inyong patuloy na suporta sa ating pong programa ng school-based feeding program. So ito pong survey questionnaire na ito po ay makakatulong para po makita natin ang improvement ng ating programa para sa ating mga mag-aaral at sa ating pong as SBFP school feeding coordinators. So, kung meron po tayong mga questions, suggestions, or comments, mamaya po, pwede po natin ilagay sa ating chat box and we will answer them promptly. So again, thank you very much and good morning.
Okay, thank you, Nurse Jasmine. So that was the 2 survey forms discussed by Nurse Jasmine. So if you didn't catch up with the session, you can actually replay this video at FDO Masbate YouTube channel. So is there any question about our clarification about our webinar session today? I think there's no question here. No question asked. So you can drop your feedback and clarifications on the email address given by the nurse. So As underage people of the world being evacuated by the pandemic, we cannot afford make people quit school just because of hunger. And with our skills and resources, we will be successful on this. This webinar is now ending. Thank you everyone for the participation and support. And this has been Cheryl Dimple de Lavi Martinez, your moderator, saying, great, let's have a great day.
Okay. Meron po tayong pahabol na reminders for the milk deliveries in Picao District, okay, in Monreal and in San Jacinto District. The milk delivery will be delivered today, May 12, 2021. And for the other district in San Fernando and Batuan, possible po for tomorrow, May 13, 2021. Thank you so much. And here is Nurse Ronnie for some reminder uh, in liquidation process. Okay po. Reminder lang po dun sa mga um, hindi pa nakasubmit ng liquidation po ninyo. Kailangan na po natin mag-liquidate sa yung mga sa NFP po na hindi pa po nag-liquidate po ng ano ng extension nila last February 2021 na extension of feeding and also yung mga hindi pa nakasubmit ng terminal reports nila anong feeding nila last Feb. Kasi ongoing pa naman yung ibang schools natin, yung another extension po natin. Yung kailangan po natin, yung liquidation ninyo, last extension of feeding po. So, kung pwede po pakisubmit na po ninyo, mag-liquidate na po, kasi hindi po natin pwedeng sabihin na na-utilize natin yung fund natin kung hindi pa po kayo nakapag-submit ng mga liquidation ninyo. Tsaka terminal reports pa din po, dun sa mga extension of feeding, ihingi pa rin po kami ng terminal reports ninyo. Kailangan pa din po yun para makita namin kung ano yung mga, paano nyo in-implement yung extension of feeding. Okay po? So, again, dun sa mga nag-i-implement pa po ng extension of feeding para sa second batch ng extension of feeding, kailangan din po namin after ng implementation ninyo ng liquidation sa terminal reports po. Pakisubmit po ng terminal reports ninyo sa district SBFP
coordinators po ninyo. Thank you very much, and again, good morning.
So your certification of participation will be generated on the link you have registered on that day. Tapos we will send your individual certification. So check na lang po, we will forward it. Thank you.